Hi guys, and welcome to episode 9 of How I Tank. This one is a mishmash of ideas and different resources I use to help me become a better player. And I'm going to be including links to most of what I'm talking about in the video description below the video. First of all, you're watching this on YouTube, so you're already aware of the first resource I use. When I first started taking an interest in becoming a better player, the first port of call for me was YouTube. And as you can see, I am subscribed to a lot of channels. Most of them are to do with World of Tanks. So these are all YouTubers who cover World of Tanks. Some cover other games, but I have a lot of YouTube channels that I follow. So every single day I head to my subscriptions, and yeah, I've got DayZ stuff and War Thunder and all this other stuff in here, but we have a lot of World of Tanks videos. In fact, you'll see that most of the content I get through my subscriptions are World of Tanks related, so I keep up to date through other YouTubers. I watch their games, I watch their footage, I get ideas from them, and back long before I was streaming and before I was YouTubing myself, I was following quite a lot of people. Quickie Baby's a great guy to follow for tactics. Sircon is a very, very talented player. This is a guy most of you may not have heard of, Renemesis. He puts up some really, really, really good gameplay footage. Not reviews, not tactics, but if you want to see a pretty good player in action, I really recommend Renemesis. I have no idea who he is, never met him, and I'm not plugging him for any particular reason, but I do enjoy watching his replays. He is a very skilled player, and I've learned quite a bit from just watching his playstyle. Krebs puts up the Odd War World of Tanks video. He doesn't take it too seriously, and it's always nice to see his take on the game. And then of course we got the Mighty Jingles. He's another guy I follow, and yep, he was probably the very, very first person that I subscribed to regarding World of Tanks, and it was through him I found some of the others. Jingles has a huge, huge, huge backlog of World of Tanks videos, and I do remember way back in the early days sitting down and watching them all. I went through his entire back catalogue, so really, really good guy to subscribe to. So once you're done with the YouTubers, actually here's another guy, Smiggity with Brothers. This guy is again, they do a lot of platoon work, but if you want to see tanks working together really, really well, Smigget with his brothers play World of Tanks together as a platoon, and they put up some really, really interesting teamwork videos. It's very interesting to see them working together when during a match. And they do a really, really nice commentary. They do a joint commentary, so basically everyone in the platoon is speaking together on a shared TS channel, and they're all discussing the game together. So it's a completely different change of pace to some of the other guys who are doing videos. One of my newest subscriptions is Beyond Dreams. You know that I play with Beyond, platoon with him regularly, and Beyond has now started YouTubing and Twitching, so of course I'm subscribed to Beyond. He's a really, really good player, and I really do recommend you check him out. So YouTube is my first port of call, or was when I was trying to become a better player. The next obvious step from YouTube is Twitch, and Twitch.tv. So of course I stream. I've got my channel here. So I have a bunch of highlights, and to be honest guys, if any of you were wondering what to give me for Christmas, or give me a nice little Christmas present, I really, 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 really would love if you guys could actually watch the highlights I have very few highlights are watched. I spend a lot of time going through my streams and picking out highlights, and some of them get huge numbers of views for some particular reason, and I'm up to the hundreds on a couple of views, but others get no views, or it's very, very quiet. So I do, if you want to really give me a Christmas present, maybe watch some highlights, give me some feedback. But that's not the point of the video. Again, just like YouTube, I follow a lot of channels on Twitch, and again, we've got Circon. I've got some channels I follow that are games that are not World of Tanks, but we've got Circon, we've got Quickie Baby that I follow. Smokey Mofo, it doesn't take the game very seriously. He's always fun to watch. We've got Beyond D again. But yeah, I follow a lot of guys. Before I started, I feel guilty because I don't get to watch any of them anymore. Since I started streaming myself, all my time is taken up with streaming, with creating highlights, with creating YouTube videos, and it's probably been well over a month since I watched Circon, and probably close to about 6 weeks since I watched any Quickie Baby. But these are really, really, Twitch is a great place to go if you want to try and improve your game, and there's a lot of good players on Twitch who I really recommend you follow, and you probably don't hear a lot of streamers suggesting you follow other streamers, but I'm just being honest. This is me. I don't care. This is how I learned the game, and this is what I'm sharing with you guys. Watch some Twitch streamers, and you will learn a lot. Try and support the smaller streamers. I find with the bigger streamers, it's very, very difficult. It's not a very personal experience with them. They have so many viewers, you are not going to get a word in sideways in chat. You're not going to be able to ask them questions. They're not going to be able to respond to every question or interact with their viewers as much as some of the smaller streamers do. And if you really do have questions about World of Tanks, I do suggest checking out some of the smaller streamers, not just the ones I follow. There are dozens of us here, so ask away, and a smaller streamer will be more than happy to help you with your game, to maybe even platoon up with you, to give you advice or anything you want that is World of Tanks related. So that is Twitch. Moving on, another resource I use quite a lot, but a lot of people aren't aware of it, is going to come in here, is NoobMeter. So noobmeter.com. Noobmeter.com allows me to track my stats. So how have I been doing recently? So I'm searching, I'm on the EU, so performance rating, last 7 days, 1900. Yesterday it was 18.5. So overall I'm at 1628. But then again, I'm this is only over the last 11, nearly 12,000 games. I played 10,000 games before I actually bothered to start learning how to play, guys. So really, I only count maybe the last 2,000 or 3,000 battles, and NoobMeter doesn't give me that. But yeah, I'm quite happy. My performance is going up. As you can see, my progression curve performance rating since 5,000 battles. This is the point here. About 7,000 battles I started trying to improve as a player. Up till here it was just learning from my mistakes, but as long as your performance meter is moving in the right direction, you are improving as a player. As you can see, WN7 rating, my win rate, my average damage, my average experience, all of it is going up, and I am pretty happy with the results. So you can track your own performance. You can track it by particular tank here. You get all this information in World of Tanks itself now, but I just find that NoobMeter lays it out a little bit better. So compare with a player. You can also do this with NoobMeter. So let's assume I want to compare myself to another player, and yeah, I'm going to make myself feel really bad now. I'm going to compare myself to oh, hold on, he's not Beyond Dreams, he is Beyond D, isn't it? In-game. So, yep, there's Beyond D, and I want to compare him with myself. So, as you can see, I'm actually green in a couple of areas. I play a slightly higher average tier, and my average experience is a little bit higher. But in all other categories, Beyond kicks my butt. Beyond is a 96%er, he's a Unicum, and I'm able to compare two different players in Noob Meter. So I find this a pretty good result just to track my own progress. But you're not just limited to Noob Meter. There is another website called WhatLabs. So whatlabs.net, and it does exactly the same thing. We got to switch to the EU server, and it pretty much does what Noob Meter does. So searching for myself again, and while it does provide roughly the same information, it just provides it in a slightly different layout, and you may find it easier to follow. And unfortunately, it is quite a bit slower than Noob Meter. It's not a big site, and the creator of the site basically runs it himself. He designed it himself, and it's not running on a very good connection, so it does take a while. There we go. So again, it lays it out a little bit differently. So it gives you your victories, it tells you how much you've done or improved in the last 24 hours, 7 days, 30 days, and 60 days. So it keeps it far more up to date than Noob Meter does. It doesn't penalize you for your performance when you were a noob. So this is kind of, I prefer to look at this because it tells me how I've done over the last 2 months. Again, it provides statistics laid out differently than Noob Meter, and I just find it a very, very good resource. Again, it shows win rate, but again, it covers it over a smaller date. So you can see that it is a lot more accurate than Noob Meters does. So the other thing that this site does that Noob Meter doesn't do, or at least I haven't researched it on Noob Meter, is I can go to, for example, my clan, BSM, and I can search for clan. So here we go. These are all the guys currently in my clan, and it gives the win rates, it gives the WN8, it gives the efficiency. So I think it is pretty nice, especially if you are involved in a clan. It shows you how you're doing. So WhatLabs is another way I have of tracking my own performance, and it, as I say, it keeps it a little bit more up to date than Noob Meter does. Noob Meter kind of tracks your career, whereas WhatLabs tracks your current form. So moving on. Another site I use that, again, you may not be aware of is a site called Tank Compare. And that is tank-compare.com. And what this does is it's a resource I use when I'm having difficulty in a tank or when I'm reviewing a tank. And I was having major problems in the SAU 40. I learned from experience that it was a terrible tank. I felt it had no camo rating. I felt it struggled in almost every single category. So basically, I just to figure out whether it was just me, whether I don't know whether or not it is a bad tank. Maybe I was just playing it badly. But we can search for the Samao. It's a tier 4, so let's compare it. And Before I drew any major opinions on this tank, I mean, I gave them during my stream, but before I committed them to YouTube, I double checked. So let's compare it to the Tier 4 tank destroyer on the Russians. That's the Su-85B. And let's compare it to maybe the German Tier 4, the Hetzer. Or the Marder 38T. It really doesn't matter. So what Tank Compare does is it allows you to compare one tank versus another in the game, and we are going to go for the top values. We're not going to go for stock. So that's their top gun, top engine, top radio, top everything. And we're going to take a look, and we've got the price here. It's cheaper than the other two. Hit points, it's got more hit points than the other two, so that's an actual positive. The radio, again, is worst. It's got a worse radio than the other two. Its speed limit, it's slower. Its reverse speed is pretty slow. Hetzer's a little bit slower, but it's slower than the Russian tank. It is heavy at 25 tons. It's got a bigger load limit, and it gives the crew. Okay, fair enough. All of this is stuff you can get about the tank in-game. But this is where it really starts, this site really starts to shine, especially when I'm struggling to play a tank. Engine power. We've got more engine power, better than the other two, but the horsepower to weight limit is terrible. The traverse speed is terrible. The max climb angle is terrible. All of this is information you don't get in-game, and this is where it does start to give you a lot more information. Hard terrain resistance along a road is okay. Medium terrain resistance is okay. No different really than the others. Soft terrain resistance is okay. Again, no different than the others. But fire chance. This thing goes on fire far more than the others. The view range is not as good as the Russian tank. It's better than the Hetzer, so it's got decent view range. Turret traverse is the same across the board. The traverse arc, again, terrible compared to the others. And we go down through all the information, rate of fire, etc, etc, etc. But this is the one I found, this is what was causing me problems in the game, and this is the proof. I felt this thing had absolutely no camo value, and we take a look at it, and stationary, it only gets a 16% camo value compared to 26 and 25. So it is terrible while stationary. In motion, it's got 13%. Again, much worse than the other two. And when firing its gun, it only has close to 5% camo value. Much, much worse than the other tanks. So this thing has no camo value, and that's what kept on getting me into trouble, and there is the proof. And this is how I particularly use this site. I use Tank Compare. When I'm having trouble with a tank, this allows me to see the hidden strengths, the hidden weaknesses of any particular tank, and it helps me learn how to play them better. So that was just a few quick resources I use to help me with my game. YouTube, Twitch, NoobMeter, WattLabs, and Tank Compare. If you haven't heard of them before, you can check them out. All the links are below, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.